Hi, I'm Dave Johnson, Editor-in-Chief of TechWalla, and I'm the kind of person who's always wanted to like smartwatches. As an iPhone user, I wore a Pebble for a long time, and then last year I switched to the Apple Watch. But you know what? The Apple Watch just isn't very good. That's why I was so excited when Android Wear came to iOS. So what does that mean? It means you can take an Android smartwatch and use it with your iPhone. So let's talk about what that experience is like. There are a slew of Android watches out there. So I chose the highest rated one on TechWalla right now, which is the Motorola Moto 360, to see what it's like using that with an iPhone. First, let me show you around the Moto 360. This is a second generation 360. It features a big round display and a button on the side that resembles a traditional crown. Everything about this watch is pretty and elegant, including the strap. The bread and butter of any smartwatch is the notifications that it gets from your phone. And here on the 360, they pop up from the bottom. You can swipe up to see more detail, or swipe to the side to dismiss the notification. Look at how gorgeous the display is. It is so bright and sharp. And speaking of beautiful displays, the 360 has a bunch of watch faces to choose from. Switching between them is a simple matter of tapping and swiping, and you can always install more from an app on your iPhone. There are a few other important gestures as well. You swipe in from the side to get to important stuff like schedule, alarms, notification settings, that sort of thing. You can also swipe down from the top to get to things like silencing notifications or getting to settings. Now, there are a few other things you can do as well, but that's most of it. And it's so much simpler than the convoluted interface on the Apple Watch. I hope it's clear that I really like the Moto 360 smartwatch. And because Android Wear is now compatible with iOS, you can use it with an iPhone. But before we go any further, let me just caveat and say that when you do that, you lose a lot of the features that make Android such a great platform. But let's see what does work. Android will sync with your calendar so you can get meeting notifications on your smartwatch either from Apple or Google's calendar. You can also get email notifications on the watch. And in the case of Gmail, you can delete, reply, and archive messages directly from the watch. I'll get back to you tonight. Thank you. There are some cool fitness features built in as well, including a heart rate monitor. You get Google Now. That's cards that appear on the watch that tell you things like your commute time at the end of the day and stock prices for stocks you're interested in. You also get OK Google, so you can give commands like, OK Google, what's on my calendar for tomorrow? You only get a few commands though, because Apple has made sure that OK Google is no competition for Siri on the iPhone. You also don't get to install third-party apps like you do if you are using your smartwatch with an Android phone, nor can you sync contacts or fitness data with your phone. The bottom line is that using an Android watch like the Moto 360 with an iPhone is kind of like only getting half of the smartwatch that you paid for. But I'm not sure I care. The Moto 360 is cheaper than the Apple Watch, it's prettier, and it has a certain charm that the Apple Watch just doesn't have. I'm going to continue to use the Moto 360 with my iPhone despite the limitations.